Brah, we got this! Heyo everyone, what's up? It's Joe, and I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of all the new features that they added in the hard mode for the King's Fall raid in the Taken King. So let's just go right into it, because there's actually not, well, there's kind of a lot, but not really. Anyways, so, very first area, Court of Works, nothing's really different. There might be one or two more Taken Phalanxes, but that's about it. Nothing you guys can't handle. Pretty easy. Before I continue, like all hard mode raids, if you die, then you cannot be revived until either you complete that section of the raid, like your fire team completes it, or everyone else dies, like you wipe. So, yeah. Anyways, so first area, nothing really different. Second area, which is the pendulums in the ship. The pendulums, they swing a bit faster, so just time your jumps a bit more carefully. As for the ships, normally after the fourth ship, there is that platform like attached to that pillar that acts as like a checkpoint. So if you die after you get there, then you'll spawn there instead of at the beginning. That platform / checkpoint is now gone, so there is no checkpoint. Basically, you have to do the whole thing in one go. Otherwise, you're starting back at the beginning. And it's pretty easy. The fifth ship just spawns like right next, like literally like right next to the fourth ship on the right. That's assuming you're facing where the platform would normally be. It'll be on the right side of that ship. The second part of the ship area with like the two pads and everything that you have to stand on, that's the same. The chests from the first part and this part, they're the same. We looked for calcified fragments too. We didn't notice any. We didn't find any new ones. But anyways, so the third part is where respawning is restricted. So now, if you die, you are dead forever, unless you are a Sunsinger with Fireborn, or your whole team wipes, or your team completes it without you, which might not happen the first time you guys do this raid. So basically, the only difference here is the middle is tougher. So by that, I mean, normally there would be like throw all that spawn through that door and stuff, and maybe after like the fourth or fifth charge or like rune is charged on the doorway, then knights will spawn occasionally with those thrall, and normally they're just one knight for each side room, and they're red health bar knights. But this time there's going to be 2 per room, and after maybe like the 5th or 6th like charged rune activates, then they're going to turn into hallowed knights. So they're yellow health bars, so they're a bit tougher to take out. But a well-placed super, or even just some sword play, that'll take care of them pretty quickly. Other than that, the runes are the same. The timer on the brands is the same. The wizards, there's only 1 per spawn, which I thought was interesting. I thought that maybe they would do like 2 wizards, but there's only 1. But that's about it. And the rewards, more or less the same. You might have a chance to get like a 310 to 320 ghost instead. Maybe even a harrowed Meathouse Reckoning, which is the fusion rifle. And harrowed is basically the hard mode versions of the armor and weapons you can get from the raid. So normally there's Meathouse Reckoning, and then there's like harrowed Meathouse Reckoning. They look cool. Basically all the white is turned into black, which is really nice. But yeah, none of us really got that. I think someone got like a 313 ghost though, so that's pretty good. But yeah, so after that, you're on to the War Priest, and the War Priest is where things get interesting. So normally, the War Priest, he summons a bunch of enemies, and then you shoot the enemies, and then you kill the knights, and then you do the glyph sequence in the correct order, and then you shoot them, and then after that, he calls upon the Oculus, and you hide behind one of those big monoliths, and then the monolith will disappear after the Oculus finishes its business. But instead of just disappearing, it's instead like absorbed into the War Priest. So basically, he gets a new power based on which monolith he absorbs. So for instance, the first time we did this, we hid behind the middle one like we would do for normal, and when we hid behind the normal one and it disappeared, he absorbed it and got taken hobgoblin powers. So basically, you know how those taken hobgoblins shoot out like those 3 like heat-seeking orbs that follow you like everywhere and are impossible to dodge? He basically starts shooting those out if he absorbs the middle monolith. If he absorbs the right monolith, then he starts throwing those captain, like those dark spheres that the captains throw, that like blind you and do some damage. So that's the right side. Middle side is taking hobgoblin. Left side, not really sure about that because we didn't do the left one. I kept asking my fire team if we could just do the left one just so I could see what it is, but they didn't want to wipe because it took us about like 8 attempts to get through the War Priest, and by like the 4th time they just wanted to get it over with. But yeah, like they just didn't want to wipe again, which I understand because I was getting frustrated too. It was frustrating, but my guess is that the left one is going to be taking knight powers, so basically spitting fire because he's already like a knight, and that's originally what I thought Destiny was going to do for hard mode, was just have him like spit fire now. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it'll be the taken Centurion power, which is like that single orb that like moves slowly towards you and does a lot of damage, because Golgoroth does that. Phalanx would be useless because no one really gets close to him. And I definitely do not think it would be taken Scion, because having the boss split into 2 and then those 2 into 4 and so on would be impossible to beat. But yeah, so after you beat him, you can get some more Harrowed gear. I got a 311 Harrowed Defiance of Yasmin, which is the sniper. I know someone got like the machine gun, which looked pretty cool. But yeah, so after that, you got Golgoroth Cellar. That's like the maze with like the secret chest. Same thing as normal mode. For Golgoroth himself, it's a bit different. It's more, the strategy is the same. You kill the ads on the sides, and then you have someone distracted by getting his gaze, and you shoot down one of those pools of reclaiming light, and you stand in the pool and shoot his stomach. That's how you damage him. That's the same. What's different is someone in the pool will be chosen as like a bomb. I don't know what the debuff is because I was never the bomb. I never get to stand in the pool because no one likes me, and I'm a bad swimmer. But basically, someone turns into a living bomb, and I'm guessing there's like a timer. There might not be, I'm not sure, but basically just look on your screen, see if there's some kind of debuff. And basically what it means is after a certain amount of time goes by, maybe it's like 5-6 seconds, after the debuff appears, you're going to explode. You won't die, but anyone who's around you will. So the first time we did this, we didn't know about it, and I think Neon Ruthless was the bomb, and we didn't really know about it. And out of the blue, he explodes, and everyone else, like on our fire team, that was in the pool with him, just died, and we're just like, what the heck just happened? So make sure you keep an eye on who has the debuff. And basically what they want to do is they want to get away from everyone else, so they can run back to the top area instead of dropping down into that pit, or they can just move to a different part of the pit. The explosion radius is about the size of like a Cursed Thrall explosion. So I'm guessing if like you guys have a Titan bubble with like Blessing or something, you could probably survive it. I'm not sure. We never really tested it because we only had like Weapons of Light for damage. But other than that, he's about the same. I think the Taken might come a bit earlier. I think in normal mode, it's when he's at like 25% health. This time it looked more like 33% health, something like that. So I could be wrong, but main thing is the bomb. So just figure out who the living bomb is and have them GTFO from everyone else. or GTFA, I guess, get the frick away from everyone. Yeah. Until he explodes. After that, you can get back in the pool and shoot. I'm not sure how the bomb person is determined. It just seemed to be random. It didn't seem like it was the first person in the pool, the last person. It doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to be like any kind of pattern. There might be. I don't know. I was not in the pool, so I'm sorry for that. But they do not let me swim in the pool because they don't trust me enough. I don't know why. So after that, you got the Piston Room and the Exotic Chest. Same thing. I think the only difference is like the Exotic Chest might be able to give you, 310 to 320 exotics instead of just like 300 to like 310 exotics or whatever it is. I think none of us got exotics, so I don't know. Yeah. So after the Piston Room, you got the Death Singers, and they are the same. Yeah, they're the same. Not a whole, like I said before, like not a whole lot of differences or major changes in this hard mode version of the raid. There is one difference for pretty much each part of the raid, but they're not like major except for the War Priest. The War Priest was absolutely awesome. Good job, Bungie. Anyways, so the Death Singers, the strategy is the same. Get the relic, build the platforms, and then collect on one platform or whatever, and then shoot Ironok until she dies, or just leave her be, and then kill all the enemies and stuff. And then normally you would get a break between Ironok and Halak, but you don't get that this time. So right after the first hymn of death or whatever the heck it's called finishes, and the light finishes flashing and all that stuff, the second one goes right away, like bam. So you have to figure out who the Phantom Man is, like in 2 seconds, where the relic is, and what order you need to build the platforms in, like all in like 2 seconds. Otherwise, you'll waste too much time. Well, maybe not 2 seconds. You could probably do it and have time to kill your Halak in like, if you used like, I don't know, 10 seconds to figure that out. Just make sure you don't mess up the platforming, because it is possible to kill Halak after the hymn reaches 0. We did this. The video is on my Titan, and we did a second hard raid after my Titan, and I did it on my Hunter. And I kind of messed up the jump. Like, we figured out, Phantom Man and all that stuff right away. It was me. Did the jumps and stuff, and messed up the first jump, so I had to go back to the top of a platform and then jump back onto those like phantom platforms. And we still had about, I don't know, like 35% of her health left, and her song was at like 3 seconds. But like even after it hit 0, we weren't dead yet, because you don't die until like that bright white light flashes. So you have time. If it looks like you're going to run out of time, just keep shooting with everything you have, and you should be able to kill them. But yeah, so after that, you get chest. It can have class items, which they're not harrowed, but they're basically black versions. So yeah, and then guns and armor and all that. Oh yeah, Golgroth, you can get harrowed versions of like armor and stuff. I've totally skipped the rewards for him. Oh, and the War... No, I did the War Priest. I got my 311 Defiance of Yasmin. But yeah, so... after that, you got Mr. Oryx. And he is light level 320, so make sure you're, hopefully anyways, like 310 and above. Because if you're below 310, then all the enemies, including Mr. Oryx, are going to be orange instead of like yellow or red. Like red would be way worse, but they're going to be orange instead of yellow, and that basically means they're like a level above you. So like they take 20% more damage to kill, and they can kill you in 20% less damage. Basically, they do 20% more damage to you, you do 20% less damage to them. So that's kind of a pain. So try to make sure you're 310 or higher. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. The big difference here, which I actually do like this one, but it's insanely frustrating, is that normally you would have those ogres spawn, right? And then you just kill the ogres, and then kill the vessel of orcs, and then shoot orcs, detonate the bombs that the ogres drop when they die, and then shoot orcs some more. Normally that's what you do. But instead, once you kill an ogre, it drops the bomb, but then also a light eater knight spawns. And it tries to go and eat the bomb. So where they spawn and how they spawn is dependent on the ogres. So basically, let's say the pattern to build the platforms is, back left, front left, and then front right, and then, back right or whatever. You don't have to do back right. You never have to do the fourth platform, just because. So you can have that person be like a floater and shoot things. Basically, so that's the order. Let's just pretend. So the ogres would spawn back left, front left, and then front right, back right. Now, the way the knights work is they spawn when an ogre dies, and on the opposite side of that front or back area. So the first ogre would be back left. You shoot it, it dies. The first light eater knight will spawn in the back right corner. And by corner, I mean like the actual corner, not where the ogre spawns, but there's like another pool of water, like away from the center of the map, like in the corners. They are where the knights will spawn. So kill the back left ogre, the knight will spawn in the back right. Kill the front left ogre, it'll spawn in the back, not the back, the front right, and then vice versa, and then vice versa. So just keep an eye on that. Basically, whichever ogre you kill, it's on the other side. They're kind of a pain to kill, but like 2 sword power attacks, and they're dead. Use your super if you want. We don't really have a foolproof method, just because if you're going to use your sword, then you need to make sure that the relic holder doesn't need the platforms anymore. Otherwise, you kind of have to stay on there and just shoot with your normal guns. Don't follow them into the bombs either, because then you'll detonate them, and then your whole team will die, and you'll have to start all over. So don't do that. But other than that, that's basically this. Oh my gosh, that's basically all there is to the hard mode raid. There we go. Yeah, like the shade is the same, the lights are the same. We got Oryx down to about 40% health, and then we died because we suck. So I don't know if there's anything at like the very end, if he gets down to like 25% health or something. I'm not sure. I don't think there will be, just because like there wasn't for Atheon or Crota. Well, I know that they kind of enraged faster, but that doesn't really seem to be the case here. But maybe we just died too early. I'm not really sure. But yeah. Oh, and make sure you guys use 3F coins on the shade, because it counts as an ultra. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I know I said this was a quick rundown, and now we're like 18 minutes in. I'm sorry for wasting your time. But I figured you guys might want to know what all is up with the hard mode raid, and how you can, what to expect. So this is kind of like a rundown / quick guide sort of thing anyways, maybe, I don't know. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out, part 1 and part 2 of my King's Fall raid guide. So if you have any questions on what to do normally, strategies will be in those videos. Also, like how to get the exotic chest and whatnot. And yeah, that's it, and I'll see you guys later.